Welcome to my views and news. Some new stories from Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Sudan for you. Firstly, US is demanding 4 actions from Ethiopian government, and all 4 actions are difficult to be done. It seems that US is now gradually putting pressure upon PM Abiy's government. Last night, US State Department issued a statement showing rising tensions between Ethiopia and the US. Secondly, since yesterday, a video of some Fano fighters has been in circulation in social media showing the Fano fighters talking to some elders who are trying to convince Fano fighters to adopt reconciliation, to come to the table for dialogue. We'll try to analyze this video. Where is the video from? What are Fano fighters saying? How convincing are the Fano fighters? Thirdly, Adigrat Tigray, where a priest inaugurated a hotel there around 24 hours ago. While Tigray has been devastated, businesses devastated, a priest managed to build a hotel. Fourthly, around 48 hours ago, a British source claimed that Eritrea had closed its borders with Djibouti and Ethiopia. And then speculation started. One of the main speculations is that Eritrea is going to deploy its troops to Ukraine. That Isaias Afwerki has agreed with Putin in his recent visit to Russia that Eritrea would deploy its troops to support Russian troops in Ukraine. Any possibility of deployment of Eritrean troops to Ukraine? Fourthly, Sudan viewers, where UN peace missions, UN diplomatic missions head has been declared persona non grata. Volker Perthes has been told to leave Sudan. Special Envoy of UN Secretary General Volker Perthes a few days ago, Burhan wrote a letter to Antonio Guterres to replace Volker Perthes. Secondly, Beja tribe in Eastern Sudan, in Kassala, has announced support for Sudanese Army, and Congo has confirmed the death of 10 of its nationals in Sudan in an airstrike by Sudanese military. Firstly, viewers, US Ethiopia relations again becoming a little tense. US is now demanding action from Ethiopian government. And the issues which are being raised by US government are difficult to handle by Ethiopian government. PM Abiy's government is gradually coming under US pressure. Yesterday, Damake McConnell held a meeting with Antony Blinken. Damake McConnell is Ethiopian foreign minister, deputy prime minister. He is in Riyadh these days in Saudi Arabia, where he is attending an international conference on terrorism. Antony Blinken is there too. Both met on the sidelines of the conference. And after that, US State Department issued a statement last night. US State Department is demanding 4 actions mentioned in the statement. Firstly, it wants Ethiopian government to conduct full investigation into aid diversion of US food, and hold the people accountable. Last night, I did a video about an article published in Washington Post about aid theft in Ethiopia. Ethiopian federal government, regional governments, Ethiopian Army, Tigray forces, all were found involved in aid theft. US aid theft, USAID aid theft. So US now wants Ethiopian government to take action. And US has suspended food provision to Ethiopia. Secondly, the statement says that Ethiopia should promote human rights, including in Western Tigray. The term uses Western Tigray, not Volker. Why is US calling for promotion of human rights in Western Tigray? Just 3 to 4 days ago, Human Rights Watch released a report saying that ethnic cleansing of Tigrayans in Western Tigray was continuing. Tigrayans were still being detained and expelled from Western Tigray. US wants the return of IDPs as well, return of Tigrayans from Tigray, from the parts of Tigray to Volker Perthes, Western Tigray. Another difficult issue for Ethiopian government to handle. Thirdly, transparent and inclusive transitional justice mechanism. We know that Ethiopian government has been dragging its feet in the investigations into human rights abuses committed in the 2-year-long war. And Ethiopia opposed UN inquiry commissions. It tried to defund UN inquiry commissions. And local mechanism for investigation is not acceptable. Tigray wants Eritrean forces to be held accountable. Of course, Ethiopian inquiry commission cannot investigate Eritrean soldiers. So, local inquiry mechanism is not sufficient, it means. US wants this transparent and inclusive mechanism for transitional justice. It means it wants investigation in which people are held accountable for the 2-year-long war in which war crimes were committed. Fourthly, very important point, US wants a resolution of tensions in Amhara and Oromia. In both these zones, we are seeing, both regional states, we are seeing armed conflicts. OLA fighting in Oromia for years, and new anti-government armed movement launched in Amhara. US wants Ethiopian government to talk to the groups in Amhara and Oromia to resolve the issue. So you see, all 4 issues mentioned in the US State Department statement are very thorny issues, difficult to handle for Ethiopian government. That is why I say that US-Ethiopia relations could deteriorate in coming days. It's difficult for Ethiopian government to take action on all these 4 issues. Secondly, viewers, since yesterday, a video of some Fano fighters have been in circulation in social media. The video shows Fano fighters talking to some elders who were sent by some authorities or on their own. They were there to talk to the Fano fighters. The video is from East Gojam, Debre Verke Varda reportedly. That is what I learned. The video shows a Fano fighter, a commander it seems, talking to elders. He is not responding positively to elders' call for dialogue, for mediation. He is criticizing elders too in the video. He says elders are also being arrested, they are being imprisoned. And in the video, he levels serious allegations against the government, federal government, that Amhara people are in danger. Their existence is in danger. Church, he mentions church too, that Orthodox Church is being split by the government. Women are being killed, pregnant women are being killed. So there is no point in dialogue. Only solution is this armed movement. This video shows how Fano commanders, Fano fighters believe now about the ongoing anti-government armed resistance in Amhara. That they believe solution is military, solution is not dialogue. And secondly, I think these elders are not in a position to enforce agreements, enforce understandings. We saw that the approach of involvement of elders failed in Oromia, and their Ola announced that it will only talk if there is third-party mediation. We saw third-party mediation talks held in Zanzibar, Tanzania. Even that effort did not succeed. Second round of talks could not start in Oromia. In Amhara, we have not seen any serious effort by the government to engage with Fano groups. Yes, we saw dialogue like in Gondar, where Gondar elders talked to Fano fighters, they talked to Ethiopian National Defense Force members, but there the talk was focused on local issues. ENDF withdrew to the camps. The talks were not about larger issues of Amhara ethnic group in Amhara region or living other parts of Ethiopia. So we have not seen any comprehensive approach adopted by Ethiopian government to talk to all the Fano fighters, Fano commanders through some influential elders. Local elders are not being respected by Fano fighters, it seems. Short clip for you. By the way, a portion of this clip shows the same Fano commander criticizing Muslim community as well, but this portion of the video has been trimmed. It is not being circulated in social media. Watch a small portion of this clip, then next news story.
ኢትዮጵያ ማለት ብሔር ብሔረሰቦችን ያቀፈች ሀገር ናት። ኦሮሞ ለብቻው አንድ ጳጳስ፣ ትግሬ ለብቻው አንድ
Thirdly, viewers, Adigrat Tigray, in the 2-year-long war in Tigray, Tigray's infrastructure has been devastated. Buildings, government offices, military installations, everything ruined in Tigray. But a priest managed to build a hotel. And around 48 hours ago, the hotel was inaugurated in Adigrat. And the cost of this project is 115 million Ethiopian birds. Tigray TV showed this priest as well. You can see the priest on your screen. This is the priest who built a hotel in Adigrat, while Tigrayans had nothing to eat. How did he manage to build a hotel? It's difficult for me to understand. Where did he get the money from? Is government behind the building of this hotel? Is some foreign organization is behind him? I'm unable to understand, honestly. And the priests also were just defending themselves because monasteries came under attacks too in Tigray, and these priests they were left on their own by the main church too. But somehow he managed to survive and build a hotel in Adigrat. By the way, I think Ethiopian religious elders are of two types. Those who are top religious elders, they are rich. They have dual nationalities, they visit foreign countries for medical treatment. They have all what other elites in Ethiopia have, like generals, like politicians. The other type of religious leaders are those who are local level religious leaders. And they are not, they live hand to mouth lives mostly. Difficult for them to make both ends meet. They have to survive on donations, on help from people. But those who are top religious leaders, they are living lives with all the luxuries which they are enjoying, it seems. Fourthly, viewers, Eritrea. For the last 2 days, especially after Isaias Afwerki's visit to Russia, we have been hearing speculations that Eritrea was going to deploy its troops to Russia, to Ukraine, in support of Russian forces, that Eritrea had agreed. That Isaias Afwerki agreed with Putin in his recent visit to Russia. And that is why it is being linked that Eritrea closed its borders with Ethiopia, Djibouti. But several viewers very rightly pointed out that most of the border was already closed. Eritrea, Djibouti, Eritrea, Ethiopia border. But Hajar was open, Rama was open too, I think, though only for military movement. Is there any possibility of deployment of Eritrean military to Ukraine? I don't see the possibility of deployment of Eritrean military to Ukraine. Why? Wagners are withdrawing from Ukraine. They withdrew from some parts of Bakhmut, I think. Chechens are fighting there. Ramzan, Kadyrov's Chechen fighters are there. It's difficult to distinguish between Russian soldiers and Chechens, Russian soldiers and Wagner fighters, especially if Wagner fighters start wearing Russian military uniforms. But Eritrean soldiers can be easily spotted. And entire world is monitoring each and every inch of Ukraine. So if Eritrea deploys its troops to Ukraine, it won't remain hidden. Eritrean soldiers will be spotted at once. Will Eritrea take the risk of exposing its soldiers? I don't think so. Eritrean involvement in Ethiopia remained hidden because the world was not concerned much about killings and devastation in Ethiopia. It's mainly due to Tigrayan diaspora which internationalized this conflict. So Eritrean military presence here remained hidden. Later things came out and Eritrean military presence here was disclosed. But in Ukraine, if Eritrea is involved, on day one you would see that Eritrean military presence would be disclosed. I don't think that Eritrea is planning to send its troops to Ukraine. All are rumors. Isaias Afwerki's critics, they want to undermine him. They know he's in a strong position, no challenge to Isaias Afwerki, internal, external. So they look for opportunities to sometimes defame Eritrean government, Eritrean president. I criticize Isaias Afwerki a lot, but we should only speak facts. If we start telling lies, it means that we're not true to ourselves. My analysis is that I don't see the possibility of involvement of Eritrean military in Russia. And we mustn't forget about the logistical element too. Of course, Russia will have to fly thousands of Eritrean soldiers from Eritrea to Russia. Reinforcements will have to be ensured too. All are speculations. Now, Sudan viewers, were several developments. A correction before that. Salsavi, one of my viewers, critics too, he very rightly pointed out that Rapid Support Forces 2 days ago took control of Yarmouk military industrial complex, not armored core. In last night's video, I said RSF had taken control of armored core. Armored core and Yarmouk military industrial complex are different entities. Not far away though, it seems. So, Rapid Support Forces have taken military industrial complex, which was sanctioned, I think, by US government a few days ago, when US government sanctioned 4 entities, 2 of Sudanese Army, 2 of Rapid Support Forces. Now, 3 important developments about Sudan War. Head of UN mission in Sudan has been declared persona non grata. Volker Perthes, working in Sudan for months, has been told to leave the country. Volker Perthes is head of UN Integrated Transition Assistance Mission head. A few days ago, Al-Burhan wrote a letter to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres asking him to replace Volker Perthes. Antonio Guterres refused to replace Volker Perthes. Burhan did not share details of why he was demanding the replacement of Volker Perthes, but Antonio Guterres refused, and now Volker Perthes has been declared persona non grata. Why does Burhan believe that Volker Perthes is supportive of rapid support forces? Or is he critical of Sudanese army, Sudanese military? Whatever the reason is, but Volker Perthes has been declared persona non grata. He'll have to leave the country. Secondly, Beja tribe in Eastern Sudan has held a rally in support of Sudanese army. Beja tribe is based in Kassala mainly. Kassala shares border with Eritrea too. Eritrea has influence in this zone too, Kassala. And Nazir Sayyid Tariq addressed rally participants 24 hours ago. The rally was held in Hadalia, which is in Kassala. There, Nazir Sayyid Tariq addressed the participants, announced his support for Sudanese army. Rapid support forces don't have significant military presence in Eastern Sudan, in Northern Sudan as well. And Beja, other tribes, they are very influential here. They tried to keep rapid support forces restricted to Western Sudan, therefore, etc. And now these tribal elders are announcing support for Sudanese army. Are these tribal elders involved practically in supporting Sudanese army? No. We have not seen tribal fighters in Khartoum fighting in support of Sudanese army. But it means that now Sudanese army has something to fall back on, that from Eastern Sudan it can receive reinforcements. Thirdly, viewers, Congo has confirmed that 10 of its nationals were killed in an airstrike in Khartoum. Around 2 days ago, it was reported that sports city in Khartoum city caught fire. And it caught fire because of airstrikes. Airstrikes on International University of Africa, which is in Khartoum. There, Congolese students were staying. And the Congolese students were hit in the airstrikes. 10 casualties are being confirmed by Congolese government. Congolese foreign minister around 24 hours ago issued a statement saying that the government had contacted Sudanese ambassador, and that 10 of its nationals, Congolese nationals, had been killed in an airstrike by Sudanese army, Sudanese military in Khartoum. Collateral damage, civilian killings in airstrikes being conducted by Sudanese Air Force are not being reported. Civilians are dying too. I think in 2 videos I reported about some civilian deaths. But Sudanese military denies all these allegations. It rejects all these allegations. Those civilians are dying. Congolese nationals died too. How many RSF fighters died in these airstrikes, we don't know. But civilians are dying because sometimes due to poor intelligence, sometimes due to Sudanese Air Force's limited precision stacking capabilities. Sudanese Air Force does not have very precise stacking capability. Egyptian planes are able to hit targets precisely on the ground. If they are involved, they can hit targets precisely. Even those precisely hit targets, if they are hit, that leads to collateral damage too. Airstrikes always cause collateral damage. But in this war, we're seeing almost on daily basis, we're receiving reports of civilian deaths in airstrikes by Sudanese Air Force. Thank you for watching.